Hello, Capricorn. How's it going? Thanks for checking out my channel here at Reflexive Moon Tarot. So currently the moon is in sidereal Gemini. That is the energy that I am under at this time as I read for you. But you may tune into this a little later on, and the ripple effects they may take some time to reach you. So either way, I'm happy to do this reading for you, and whenever it reaches you, I hope that it resonates. So with that, Capricorn, let's get into this general read. And if you're a Capricorn in your Sun, Moon, Venus, rising sign, as well as Jupiter, and why not throw in Mercury? Maybe that's a thing as well. But here we go. We have the Nine of Pentacles. So wish fulfillment is a concern for you with regards to career, health, and finances. Crossing that, we have the Five of Cups reversed. So you definitely want this card to be reversed. There is no emotional, like you're not emotionally conflicted. There is no emotional conflict in your life at this time. That's not an issue that is going to challenge your ability to make money, to, activate and actualize any career goals, and to sort of set the ball in motion. Like do the necessary training, learn the skills, develop the tools, do that networking. So emotionally, you're in a good place. And that is definitely a mitigating factor to the situation. You're very resilient, and you may have recovered from some type of setback, financial setback, or emotional setback, or like your financial setback has impacted you emotionally, but you've gotten over it, which is great. We have the Hierophant reversed overlooking the situation, though. So accountability, and you may have been influenced negatively by a spiritual mentor may have misled you on some level. Or this, you could also just be like defying your traditional value system that you grew up with. You're activating your inner self guide as opposed to subscribing to any type of religious dogma that you no longer mesh with. And you're questioning the general accepted truth of maybe a very generalized worldview that you have subscribed to up until this point. We have the Two of Swords. So there is, you're preparing yourself, or you've been preparing for some conflict, making some stressful choices on how to deal with potential conflicts that may come up in the near future. You're trying to mentally prepare yourself on some level. You may subconsciously be at a stalemate with how you want to change or do this self-guidance. It's like a choice. The choices are, there may be too many choices for you to decide from. Indecisiveness is definitely like an issue, like with the Two of Swords, not being able to make up your mind, or find balance between two different things when they're two very different things that you're trying to decide over. It really just turns into the sort of cycle of indecision or stalemate, like hitting a subconscious plateau on some level. So excuse me, in your past, excuse me, you've had to really be a little bit defensive about a lot of things. You may have really had to defend yourself on some level just to sort of stay afloat. You've really done a good job of protecting your environment, and you've stayed strong in the face of defeat, and you're very resourceful and resilient. This could also mean, though, that your willpower may come into question on some level. You may also be struggling to find courage, and because of this this issue with making a decision to really fully step into a new way of seeing and believing things. You may not be up to the challenge because it's really something that's really difficult for you to wrap your mind around, and also facing the way that others may react to that is just something that you may not feel like you have the strength to deal with at this time. So it can go either way with this Nine of Wands. It is within your capacity to be in both states, is basically what I'm saying. And we have the four of coins here. So you really are wanting to hold on to what you've made, to what you have. And that's like materialistically, you're really holding tight, like you're running a tight ship in terms of budgets. You don't want to deal with people trying to suck your energy, to trying to come at you for money. And that it serves a purpose, but after a while you may want to consider expanding on that on some level. And we have the light went out a little bit here, so let's rekindle our fire with a candle that might last a little bit longer. There we go. Sorry, I lost track. So with the Four of Coins, this card is in... This is in your immediate future that you will be sort of dealing with this energy of... I call it like the miser card. Hoarding, like if it's reversed, hoarding might be an issue, or also free and like reckless spending, losing money, but it's upright. So, you really have a bit of a healthier fear of financial risk or loss. So you really want to make good decisions with your money, with what you have. You don't want to spend frivolously at this time. And that's smart. The Seven of Wands. So there has been... the Five of Wands is a battle. I'm just trying, and the Six of Wands, I get like 6, 7, and 8 get misconstrued for me. So the 7 is, it could be fighting for your rights, like defending yourself, defending your morals, or these new morals that you're trying to adopt, more importantly. And, you also, if it's reversed, you may be losing stamina, or be experiencing a loss of respect on some level. And that's pretty heavy. So, there might be a lot of enemies around you that you could be very overwhelmed by on account of this new way of thinking coming out, or of an old pattern of behavior. Even like just your value system or lifestyle. So that is that's a tricky one. It's difficult when you're surrounded by people who are very close-minded, and who will not support you. And it doesn't, I really don't see this. I really don't see you as being a coward, because it's so tricky. Like you really have to, there's an element of self-preservation that is very real, that no one should ever be ashamed of. So, it is within your capacity to maintain your territory and fend off these multiple attackers. And that doesn't necessarily mean like a physical attackers. I hope not for your case. I feel like it's more like psychological, or just people who will attack your character. So what's the word? Slander. is comes to my mind. And we have the Four of Cups. So the Four of Cups is actually, it's good when it's reversed. I mean, it's fine when it's upright as well. It is a bit of a cold or indifferent attitude towards, towards love, basically. It can be on one hand, you can see it as, you know, going through a necessary numbing, a phase of numbness to cope and get through any type of emotional conflict or turmoil. On the other hand, it's just finding balance with like emotional stagnation and just warming up your heart as opposed to being icy cold. When it's reversed, like you may get sort of like a second wind. You come out of that numbness and you're able to start focusing on the future and more of your heart dreams that you have for your future. Channeling that Seven of Cups, becomes a reality again for you. And then the Fool is, let's see here. So this is what you hope, or more so your fear, because it's reversed. So upright, the Fool would be taking the challenge, like taking the plunge, throwing yourself out there, embarking on a new journey. And reversed, you're afraid of taking, like you're afraid of not taking the initiative to start a new cycle for yourself. And people see that you've gotten this second wind of energy. It's visible that you're coming into yourself again, and maybe like you're in this sort of like crab in the bucket kind of situation. So maybe you're afraid that you're not going to make it out of the bucket. Oh my gosh, I was listening to Chaos lately, so that's totally where that came from. But like totally on point though. Like you're on your way out and you need to just sort of make that commitment to let go of the bucket and get the hell out, because people are just going to continue to try and drag you down. And then, a change in perspective will be your final outcome for this reading. You will see things differently, and it will be in your favor. There's sort of a sacrifice that you'll be making with this new perspective. And, it takes a lot of courage. You're going to be challenged to, see things differently. It's going to be scary, but you will get through it, and you will open up your eyes to seeing things differently, and that there's a way out of the situation. It may be a friggin' Houdini act, but you'll make it out. So with that, Capricorn, thank you so much for checking out this read and checking out Reflexive Moon Tarot here. I'm also doing free live streams on the weekends on Twitch. So if you are a fan of Twitch, or if you are not yet on Twitch, I suggest you go sign up and check it out. There's all kinds of cool stuff on Twitch. So come through and check out the fabulous tarot community over there. Link tree is in the description box, so you can also follow me on Instagram. And